What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Good morning. Merry Christmas. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. And it is Christmas, December 25, 2025. And warm welcome to the show. Keizerwetter here in the Netherlands. Beautiful sunny weather. Cold but windy. Welcome to the show. This was KLM Flight 592 arriving from Johannesburg, South Africa. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Marja, goedenavond. Hope you had a good day. Welcome to the show, everybody else who has joined. Merry Christmas. Carmelici, my friend, Merry Christmas to you and yours. And thank you so much for your continued support. 23 months as a member in the Aurora Sky Lounge. I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If not, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better, mate. Hope you're going to stick around for many more months to come. Now, you can see the wind is blowing from over there. The waves are rolling this way. Easterly wind, cool wind, but not a cloud to be seen. Here is a shady figure giving you a wave. I'm not completely alone, there's also somebody else over here. We arrived around the same time. He set up over there. I think he's taking pictures. Beautiful glide slope shot here. Early morning, sunlight, and not a cloud in the sky. Absolutely gorgeous weather, albeit a bit cold. Next up, KLM Flight 702, 777-200 arriving from Buenos Aires. 12 hours, 54 minutes underway. The PHBQA Bravo Quebec Alpha. It's 22 years old, first flight September 2003. Hey Jurk. Merry Christmas, my friend. Good morning. Pauwie de Pauwie, goedemorgen. Pufferfish, goedemorgen. Jan, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas, my friend. And to Simmy as well. Marcus, goedemorgen. Martien, goedemorgen. Sander, goedemorgen. Swissport Worker, goedemorgen. Ooh. One of the gloves already giving out. That's the one with the iffy battery. Funnily enough, one of the batteries that originally came with the heated gloves. Klaas, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. And to Issy. Klaas is celebrating 9 months of membership. Mate, thank you so much for the continued support. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat. And also when you and your family come over in real life. Hope we'll see each other again soon, but with warmer weather. It's better to see each other when wearing shorts and t-shirts than when all wrapped up in layers of clothing. Wolfgang, good morning. Servus, my friend. Merry Christmas to you and Katarina. Hope all is well. I'm going to quickly change the battery of one of my gloves already. Need a new set of batteries. Already have 3 sets, but the first set seems to be giving out. Then again, it is cold, so no problem. We've got more. Next airplane coming in is United Flight 909. That's a 767 arriving from Chicago. And after that, El Al Flight 337 arriving from Tel Aviv. That's a 737-900, not a Dreamliner today. Honda, goedemorgen. Esther Benjamins, goedemorgen. Greg Matrek, good morning. Daniel, goedemorgen. Yuri, goedemorgen. Manzi, goedemorgen. Barry, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas to all of you and your family. Hope you're all warm and comfortable. United Flight 909, 767-300 arriving from Chicago. Oh, her. 8 hours and a minute underway. The airplane is 26 years old. First flight June 1999. Mark, good morning. Merry Christmas. Joop, goedemorgen. Fijne kerst. Martin, goedemorgen. Dale Small, good morning and Merry Christmas. Martin, Merry Christmas. Tina, goedemorgen. Vrolijk Kerstmis. Martijn, goedemorgen. Vrolijk Kerstmis. Adrie, goedemorgen en vrolijk Kerstmis. So yeah, current status quo. Not a cloud to be seen. The wind is blowing from the east from over there. The sun has just risen above the horizon. There are a few contrails further up ahead, but other than that, the sky here is blue. It's still below zero, and the wind is pretty fierce actually, which means that the wind chill is very real. The glide slope shot is exquisite. You can see 3 airplanes. El Al Flight 337 is the first arrival. The first CRJ of the show, a CRJ-X, which we also don't get to see very often, is now number 2. SAS Flight 2551, arriving from Copenhagen. Third airplane in the bottom is Qatar Flight 8205, arriving from Doha. Jens, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Roy, goedemorgen kerel, fijne kerst. Polkepuk, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Merry Christmas to all of you. El Al, Flight 337, arriving from Tel Aviv. No anti-missile system visible on the outside. At least not on this one. We have seen it before. Allegedly, all of the all airplanes have them on board. Only now and then have we seen them. On my way walking over here, from here it's hard to see, but I could see that the MPS, the Martin Air 747, is behind the KLM Cargo 747. There's also a Silkway West. Or no, Silkway, just Silkway. With a little bit of luck, we might get to see them getting pushed back, and they might be leaving again in the duration of today's stream. Right, so on the right we have a CRJ, and on the left we have a Qatar 777 freighter. Before they get really close by, let's have a quick look on Flight Radar to see what we can expect in terms of Quad Squad members. Bonus Queen arriving from Paris by the looks of it. Did not see that before. The A380 is flying over the Black Sea and is expected around 12:37 local time. Cargolux will be the first 747 to arrive here from Miami. 11:36 its estimated time of arrival, and we also have another 747 from Miami. 12:15 its arrival, around 12:15 Atlas Air. And yeah, the temperature is cool. It's okay. The wind is very real. 15 knots of wind. The temperature is -3 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that makes the wind. What that makes the wind chill. What wind chill. What wind chill temperature you have with such a wind. That is definitely more than -3. I can tell you that. How cool, I don't know, but either way, this is SAS Flight 2551 arriving from Copenhagen, and this is a CRJ 1000 EL. Mike is missing out if he's not in the chat already. Don't get to see these very often. Jordi, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Daan, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Daan wonders where they de-ice. That is next to the center runway. Basically, it all takes place behind these buildings. If you look on Flight Radar, you will probably see airplanes that are going out, first taxiing to that part of the platform before taxiing to the runway to take off. That's where the de-icing takes place. The temperature would be -10.5 according to Hans. Thank you for the update. Alright, next up Qatar flight 8205 arriving from Doha. And is Roy celebrating his birthday today? Gefeliciteerd, Roy. Kerstkind. I didn't know that. Happy birthday. Well, it is a lovely day to be celebrating a birthday. You can put the barbecue out. Nice garden fest. Enjoy the day, mate. Congratulations. Now, also a massive big thank you to Klaus, who just now gifted 5 memberships. You didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much for that. I hope that everybody who just received a gift and membership from you will say thank you and will enjoy the custom emojis that they now will have at their disposal for a month. Welcome to the Skyline's new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Klaus. Klaus, thank you so much, mate. That is extremely generous. Hadi Peter, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Dr. Telecom, good morning, Merry Christmas. David Double Alpha, good morning and Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. Some morning, Merry Christmas. Next airplane arriving is Delta Airlines Flight 160, arriving from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's an A330-300, 8 hours and 9 minutes underway. The November 801, November Whiskey. 22-year-old airplane, first flight January 2003. The next 2 airplanes will be an a LOT Embraer 175. I was about to say SAS. And a 777-300 from KLM arriving from Cape Town. And you all know where that is approximately in the world, right? Peter K, good morning, Merry Christmas. Forrest, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Good morning, John. Merry Christmas. Stefan, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Didinho, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Mark, good morning and Merry Christmas. Welcome to the show, one and all. Long distance headshot of the Qatar 777. Next up will be a LOT Embraer 175 arriving from Warsaw, flight 265. Always a lot to see here at Schiphol Airport. After that, KLM flight 598 arriving from Cape Town in South Africa. And after that will be KLM flight 606 arriving from San Francisco. That's going to be a 777-200. There's a Turkish Dreamliner flying downwind somewhere. The sun is really low in the sky. I'm trying to block the sun to see if I can spot the Turkish Dreamliner already, but I'm not able to see it yet. Should get visible soon enough though. Stare down indeed. Stare down indeed. Embraer 175 from LOT. And a couple of triples behind it. Double triple time. 777-300 double 777-200. No, yeah. 777-300 followed by 777-200 LOT flight 265 arriving from Warsaw, Embraer 175. 13 years old, first flight somewhere in 2012. Hey Marianne, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas to you too, and thank you so much for your ongoing support. Marianne has turned blue, and that's because she's a member for 2 years now. Marianne, thank you so much for the support. Always a pleasure to have you in the chat, and I hope you will come back for many more months to come. If not as a member, then at least as a regular recurring visitor. Merry Christmas and thank you so much for your continued support. So many members these days have turned blue already. Won't be long, just 4 more months before the first members will turn gradient color. What is it? What was it again? I think blue and orange or something. And after that, the stars. And after that, a diamond. And what comes next? I have to think up yet. Mario, guten Morgen. Vroege Weihnachten. Herzlich willkommen. And Indo Dirk, welcome back to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Indo Dirk renewing his membership. Welcome back, mate. We kept your seat warm. And that is not an abundant extra. It's needed with wind and weather like today. This is KLM 5598 arriving from Cape Town in South Africa. Goedemorgen. Fijne kerst, Indo Dirk. GLWG, good morning and Merry Christmas. Blackburst, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Hey stranger, good to see you, mate. Merry Christmas to you and yours. That was KLM flight 598, arriving from Cape Town in South Africa. That was a 777-300 Now we'll see a 200 arriving from San Francisco, a well-known city in Asia, which is why this flight is flown by KLM Asia. Almost 10 hours in the air right now, 9 hours 59 minutes. The PHBQM Bravo Quebec Mike, 19 years old, first flight March 2006. The airplane that you see behind it is Air Dolomiti. That's an Embraer 195 arriving from Frankfurt. Behind that, the Turkish Dreamliner at the 7 o'clock of the number 2, right above the buildings. Hey Han, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas, buddy. Nice that you have found a few moments to drop in the chat. Thought you announced you weren't going to make it, so nice to see you. Merry Christmas, mate. I am Yayo Daddy, good morning. Roll Tide, good morning, and Merry Christmas to you and yours. So yeah, Kaiserwetter, as the Germans or the German-speaking people call it. Not a cloud to be seen, cold weather. Albeit a bit windy, but then again, it is the Netherlands, right? Jan was already in the chat, and now Simi has also arrived. Merry Christmas, Simi. Good to see you again, hope all is well. Simi, aka Reticent Wife, she is celebrating 10 months of membership. Thank you so much for your continued support as a member, but not just as a member. Those automatic pop-ups that you see, that's her work. Simi created those, she programmed them. Major help in automating the streaming workflow. Merry Christmas, Simi. Hope all is well. Pity that you and Jan weren't able to make it. Then again, you're only missing out on very cold weather. Hadi Renate, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. The Fooperman, good morning and Merry Christmas. Hans Worst, goedemorgen. En Vero, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas to both of you. Alright, 2 airplanes visible. Turkish Dreamliner arriving from Istanbul as number 2. 3 airplanes visible. I spoke too soon. We also see the 737 arriving from Geneva already. First up, Air Dolomiti, flight 8946, number 195, long range, 49 minutes on the way from Frankfurt. 12-year-old airplane, Italian registered. First flight was in January 2013. I've got a feeling that for some reason my tripod seems to be a bit more draggy on the pan axis, which is nice. Means I have to pull harder at occasions, at times, on occasion, at times. Interesting. It shouldn't matter. It should be functioning normally at lower temperatures than the current temperatures, but I don't mind. Drag is good. Marijke, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Erik, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Ken en Manuela, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Hey Jen Rustic, goedemorgen kerel, Merry Christmas. Groetjes aan Lorenzo. Alan, good morning mate, Merry Christmas to you and the missus. Annette, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. This is Turkish flight 1951 arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. Normally speaking, a flight duration of around 3 hours. Today the flight has lasted 2 hours 50 minutes, a bit of tailwind probably. The TC LLF, 6 years old, first flight August 2019. We see an airplane turning in. That would be KM Malta, arriving from Malta. Number 3 to arrive. Number 2 would be the 737 from KLM, arriving from Geneva. Double-digit wind speed, which means that I am back to using the blimp for the ambient microphone. Hope the ambient is loud enough. It is. If it is a bit too low, let me know. If it is too loud and it's clipping, let me know. Saidon, goedemorgen, good morning. Merry Christmas. Joop, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas, fijne kerst. So big picture wise, this is what things look like to the north, to the east, to the south where the sun is now still low above the horizon, and lastly looking to the west. Now, I'm not completely alone here, as you can see. We arrive around the same time. Nice linear 3 airplane glide slope over here, glide slope shot. This is KLM flight 1928 in the foreground on the right, arriving from Geneva, 737-700. In the middle we see KM Malta, A320neo. And on the left is airplane number 3, E2 Umbrella 195 from KLM, arriving from Porto in Portugal. Hey Marijke, Merry Christmas. And thank you for your kind words. You're welcome. Happy to oblige. Tim, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Pyrofreak, guten Morgen und frohe Weihnachten. Herzlich willkommen, liebe Freunde. Wir haben Kaiserwetter heute. Sehr schön, aber sehr kalt. Bisschen windrig. I have to practice my German, leaving for a ski trip next Friday night, Friday to Saturday. Somewhere in the middle of the night I'll start driving to Austria. Me and Wolfgang will meet up for a day of skiing. Looks like shortly before my departure to Austria it'll snow over there and we'll have mostly good weather during the week. The Monday seems to be looking like a good day, Wolfgang. Not sure if you already saw. KLM flight 1928, arriving from Geneva in Switzerland. Aviation now, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Rosie Groovy, welcome back. Merry Christmas to you and yours. En Eisten, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Okay, Malta. Arriving from Malta. Okay, Malta flight 394, A320neo. In the middle, we have an E2 Embraer 195, KLM flight 1570 arriving from Porto in Portugal, and after that, German Airways arriving from Cologne. Yeah, you're right, Wolfgang. It can change from day to day. A couple of days ago, it looked like the entire week it was going to be cloudy and snowy and icy. Now most of the days have turned to expected sunshine again. We'll see, we'll see. At least they are consistent in that it's going to be cooler, which means that at least the snow cannons, if there's no natural snow, will be able to produce artificial snow sufficiently. But it's nicer to ski between white hills than green-brown, which was the case earlier in the week. I think yesterday there fell a couple of centimeters of Neusschnee. Hopefully it will last. Hopefully there will be more. We'll see. Hey, there's a BizJet coming to 836 right. The sun is, that pesky yellow orb is in the way of me seeing that small. Oh no, wait, I spoke too soon, as I often do. Do you think I see that BizJet? Air Icarus made it past the sun without crashing. Detour is what it says on flight radar. Now, whether or not it is going to land on 36 right, or if it is going to do a breakaway landing, we're not going to find out. We're going to stay focused on what we can see best. And that is traffic to the Kaagbaan. This is KLM flight 1570, E2 Embraer 195, arriving from Porto in Portugal. Big thank you to Peter K, who just now super chatted. A little Christmas present for you, boy, and enjoy the holidays and these last days in 2025. I will certainly do that, Peter. Thank you so much for your support and for your kind words. Yeah, just a few more days left. Hey, something is leaving. Unmarked airplane. Which is that? Which one is that? It's crossing the runway. Next up will be German Airways, arriving from Cologne, flight 4457, flying under its own moniker, not on behalf of KLM, although I doubt whether it is or isn't. Either way, it is the DTM, the Deutsche Tourwagenmeisterschaft special livery. That, in addition to the new livery with the pointillism-inspired tail. Embraer and Porsches. wonders if it isn't extremely cold where I am at. It is, absolutely. The number of layers I am wearing. The most important thing is I'm wearing my ski trousers and rain trousers over those so that they block more wind. I have 2 layers of socks on plus 2 sandwich bags over those for additional shielding against wind. My parka is very warm and I am wearing the hoodie, which is keeping my face and neck relatively warm. And of course, very important, one of the most important items for this time of year, heated gloves. Hey Ricardo, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Ricardo writes in Dutch that it is very cold in Wateringen where he lives. Here as well, Ricardo, it is cold here as well. If it wouldn't be windy, it would be doable, but the wind makes it really cold. Air Arabia Morocco arriving from Tangier, which is in Morocco in the north of Africa. It's an A320. Now a warm welcome to the show. For those of you who joined us later, you're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We are here at Kaagbaan, runway 0624, now in use as runway for arrivals, runway 06. Right now the only runway still until approximately 11. From 11 until 11:40 I am expecting a runway 36 right to also open up. In the meantime, Jörg went berserk and gifted no less than 20 flipping memberships. Jörg, what are you doing, mate? Thank you so much for such stupendous generosity. You didn't have to do that. You did it anyway. I thank you so much for that. I hope that everybody who just received a gifted membership from you will also say thank you and enjoy the custom emojis. Here we have a visitor that we saw during the NATO Summit and in the run-up, a C-17. Thanks for the heads up, Wolfgang. Flying in the vicinity of Leiden, a bit south of me. Jörg, once again, thank you so much for your incredible generosity. Not today, but all throughout. How many people have received gifted memberships from you over the course of the time you found the channel? So many. Hope they've all said thank you. Hope some of them also became a member of their own, if they enjoyed being a member and enjoyed the custom emojis. Also, thank you so much, Peter van Steen, aka Durper 1973, who writes in Dutch, a small contribution to keep you warm. Well, thank you so much for that, Peter. We need every little bit to keep warm here. It is absolutely freezing here, but I love it. It's better than when it is rainy or when it is gray. We have good visibility of the glide slope. And it is so much more cheerful when the sky is blue than when it is gray. Yorkshire Traveller also has returned in the chat. Merry Christmas, good morning. Mr. Mika, good morning and Merry Christmas. Hey Ronaldo, goedemorgen. Fijne feestdagen to you too. Merry Christmas, fijne kerst. Bram, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Gertin en Jacqueline, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas to you both. Fijne kerst. And thank you so much for the Christmas wishes, all of you. Third airplane in the bottom. That's Air Canada Flight 808 arriving from Toronto. Here in the foreground on the far right we have EasyJet Flight 22161 arriving from Persenchester, A320neo. Number 2 is KLM Flight 1402 arriving from Paris, that's the 737-800. Peter van der Eyck, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas and welcome to the show, mate. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many are watching. Together they are very knowledgeable. Most of them are friendly, won't bite you. So don't be afraid to ask any questions if you are having any. It's Christmas. The obvious question is, where's Jesus? Normally speaking, he should be celebrating his birthday as well. In the meantime, I see that Jean-Yves has returned in the chat. Wait a minute, what? That's a very generous super chat, mate. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. You really didn't have to use a super chat to give your Merry Christmas wishes, mate. But thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Hope you guys are all having a good time and are able to relax a little. Now, it's freezing and the canal is not completely frozen over. That has to do with the wind continuously moving the water, but you can see a bit further up ahead, the water has not been moving as much and there is a little bit of ice. Wexchizek, Guten Morgen, Frohe Weihnachten, Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Tuning all the way from Munich. I'll be passing by you next week, somewhere along the line. Mr. President, good morning, Merry Christmas. Juvox, good morning, Merry Christmas. And that you certainly are, Jean-Yves. You are often in the chat, absolutely. Where's your mate, your former mate? You guys were always together at some point, and then it was just you who kept coming back. What was his name again? Oh, it's at the tip of my tongue. Frustrating when I cannot remember stuff like that. Jacob Kugel, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Boreas, goedemorgen, fijne kerst, Merry Christmas. Klaus de Mouse, love the name, good morning and Merry Christmas. Klaus de Mouse. Furby, guten Morgen. Tuning in aus der Schweiz, herzlich willkommen. Frohe Weihnachten zurück. Hey, what's this? Air Canada Flight 808 in a retro. It has a boop the snoot snooty, but the picture on Flight Radar says otherwise. This is interesting. 7 hours and 10 minutes on the way. This is the Charlie Golf Foxtrot Alpha Hotel. Another Quebec inside. First flight August 1999. 26 years old. Looks nice. They should keep it this way. What do you guys think? I think they should keep the black nose. Now they should also place a stripe over the windows. Make it retro-y. Nielso, good morning. Merry Christmas. Canadian, Sweden, good morning, Merry Christmas. Ineke, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Giant Coin Stack, good morning, Merry Christmas. Danny, goedemorgen en Merry Christmas. Ethan, good morning, Merry Christmas. Meteor Mark, good morning, fijne feestdag, Merry Christmas. Peet, goedemorgen. And Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Brent Mazur, good morning and Merry Christmas. Tuning in from Winnipeg, Manitoba, where it's probably also not very warm. Pager Pro, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. 2 airplanes visible. On the right we have Lufthansa Flight 2302 arriving from Wexchizek's hometown of Munich. Behind it will be ITA, the first ITA of the show, Flight 120 arriving from Milan, Bombardier C-Series 300, where there's one a second one is never too far off, so I'm looking forward to seeing the second ETA sometime soon. If this one is arriving from Milan, the next ETA should be from Rome. Hey, Mrs. Professor, also back in the chat. Good to see you again. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Merry Christmas to everybody. First row Darshane also back in the chat. Good to see you. Merry Christmas. Fijne kerst. Ethan is tuning in from Saratoga Springs in New York, where apparently it is also very chilly. Over here it was -3 with double-digit wind speed. Trying to see on the meter, on the ticker behind me on my computer, what the latest meter is saying, but I'm seeing runway use, so in a few moments, let's check that out again. Winnipeg temperature, Brent says, is now -15 Celsius. I think that's what the wind chill here also is approaching. Here it is a bit warmer, but we have a pretty fierce wind blowing today, and I think it's also going to blow tomorrow. It will be comparable. I'm absolutely on board with that, Chunky. Rather this weather than raining. You're absolutely right. This weather is infinitely better. Hey, Freddy Dutch, good morning. Freddy Dutch says, yes, the streamers in Canada are wondering where the nose is coming from because Air Canada has no planes in black noses. Well, wherever it came from, I'm liking the look of it. If anybody high in the organization of Air Canada is watching, hint hint, should be a good new iteration of your livery. And thank you so much, Eve, who is Merry Christmasing from Swiss. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too, Eve. Thank you so much for your super chat. You didn't have to use a super chat to say Merry Christmas, but thank you so much for doing it. And it seems that we've crossed 250 likes. Thank you all so much for that. If you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you are enjoying what you're seeing. Subscribing also helps to bring more people in. If you want to support the channel for free, that's one way of doing. Jan is celebrating 26 months of membership. He writes Merry Christmas to you too, Jan. 2 years and 2 months and counting. Hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. If it isn't, let me know. You know how to reach me. Should I save you guys some oliebollen for your next visit? They're still available. Have a look at the tail where you can see intricate details with the right lighting, and also on the back of the fuselage, the main fuselage itself. It's hard to see, but with the right lighting it really pops. And I think we just had bright lighting. Kaidos, good morning. Merry Christmas. Nielso is also celebrating. He is celebrating half a year of membership. Merry Christmas, everybody. 6 months already, Nielso writes. Nielso, Merry Christmas to you and everybody in your immediate vicinity as well. And thank you so much for your continued support. I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. I'm sounding stuffy, get a runny nose when the weather is cool, and I think I'm going to invite the elephant, the Schiphol elephant, in a moment. Could switch off the mic for that, but that's taking a lot of time, which we don't have because there are Dreamliners arriving and we want to film them. Arriving from New York, JFK, KLF flight 644. This is a 787-10 Dreamliner. 6 hours and 42 minutes on their way. 6-year-old airplane, first flight December 2019. Hey, that's nice, Jan. You made a couple of oily balls yesterday, and this time they came out much softer than last time. Used Case's recipe this time. We have a few left that I plan to munch on very soon. Yeah, that's the thing with oliebollen. They don't last long. Now, they shouldn't also last very long, although you can put them in the freezer. I speak from experience that you can freeze oliebollen quite well, and you can warm them up in a warm air oven. You shouldn't microwave them because they'll stay soft then. They do get nice and crunchy if you reheat them in the oven. Round, I think I always heat them up in the. I already put them in the oven while the oven is still warming up. Saves you some time. I think 200 degrees and then maybe 10 minutes or so. They almost taste like freshly baked then. Big hitters are coming. The first 747 of the show, the bonus queen Cathay Cargo, arriving from Paris. Now number 2, being preceded by Delta Airlines Flight 142 A330 Neo. The airplane that is going to follow will appear from the right at some point. KLM A330 arriving from Vancouver. Oh wait, it's already visible. That was one of my rule of thirds white lines in my camera screen was blocking it. Now I see it. It was already visible. Meanwhile, Klaas just now went ahead, gifted another 5 memberships. Klaas, thank you so much for your generosity. You didn't have to do that, mate. But you did it anyway. Thank you so much. That is stupendously generous. A warm welcome to the Aurora Skyline's new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Klaas if you're one of the recipients of his gifted membership. And make sure to have fun with those custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Klaas, dankjewel. Thank you so much, mate. This is Delta Airlines Flight 142, arriving from Seattle, Washington, Bill J's hometown. And welcome to the show, Ben the Man. Merry Christmas to you and yours. John Beston, good morning. Vrolijk kerstfeest. No fish and chips today in London. What? Impossible. First queen of the show, ladies and gentlemen. Her Majesty is arriving from Paris. Cathay Cargo Flight 2038, 7478. 41 minutes on the way. The first of 3 queens in total, and 1 A380 is also expected. 12-year-old airplane, first flight April 2013. Oh, my aunt also puts oliebollen in the air fryer to reheat them. I'm not sure if you should bake them in oil, but you can definitely use an air fryer as well to reheat them. Basically the same as a hot air oven, except for the whirlwinds, but the principle is the same. Hot air. It is 10:21. That means that we still have around 40 minutes left of Kaagbaan exclusive use for arrivals. Cathay Cargo, how loud will she get? Gentle landing. We've seen Cathay pilots do otherwise before. Yeah, this one is very controlled. Wheelie even. Jording has to go. Thanks for stopping by, mate. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully see you again later in the weekend. Now there's a rarity. They're idle reversing Didn't hear anything swap, and with the wind blowing this way, we should definitely have heard it if they had used their reversers. Renato, ho ho ho, goedemorgen, and Merry Christmas to you too, mate. We'll see Her Majesty with a stare down in a few moments. But first, let's turn around the camera. There are 3 airplanes on the glide slope. 2 of them are wide-bodied, and sandwiched in between will be 1 narrow-body. Where's the number 3? Oh, there it is. There we go. KLM Flight 682, arriving from Vancouver in Canada, is up next. A330-200. This is the PH-AOF, the FOAF. 19-year-old airplane, first flight November 2006. Airplane following is a 737-900 from KLM, arriving from Zurich, flight 1918. After that will be Delta Airlines flight 90, arriving from Orlando in Florida. Hey, James Mail is also back in the chat. Merry Christmas. And welcome back, mate. George, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Shadow Prepper, good morning, and Merry Christmas. Long distance headshot of the first queen of the show. If you only joined us just now, you will have missed the landing. This is not the only 747 of today's show. There are 2 more underway, arriving from Miami, Florida, and the A380 is also still on the way. Those 3 airplanes, I think, are all expected between 12 and 1. Or will the first of the 2 747s arriving from Miami arrive before noon? 12:30, no, 11:30 perhaps, if I recall correctly. Adi Tom, goedemorgen, fijne kerstkerel. Good to see you, mate. Yeah, it's pretty windy, pretty cool over here. Let's see, what does the METAR say? In the ticker now it says 16 knots of wind. And the temperature is still -3. That will make for a subjective temperature of double digits in negative. If either of my heated gloves would break right now, it will be game over soon. Those are a vital necessity on a day like this. Heated gloves. This was KLM flight 1918, 737-900, arriving from Zurich, and there should be an A330 from Delta flying downwind west of us. And I think I have it in sight. This would be Delta Airlines flight 56, arriving from Salt Lake City, now flying a little northwest of my hometown, and will be landing here soon. Next airplane to arrive over here is going to be Delta Airlines flight 90, arriving from Orlando in Florida, A330-300, 8 hours and 43 minutes on the way to November 815 November Whiskey, 18 years old, first flight January 2007. Don Cooley says that in about 6 months summer will begin again. Yeah, well, winter first, then spring. Aviatrix pin up. Welcome to the show. Merry Christmas. Tuning in all the way from down under in Canberra. Next up will be American Airlines Flight 204 arriving from Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. That's a 7878 Dreamliner. It seems that we've crossed through 300 likes. Thank you all so much for that. If you guys are enjoying the show and you haven't liked the stream yet, don't forget to do so if you want to support the channel for free. Subscribing also helps if you haven't done that already. 3 airplanes in a row. What a sight to behold. American Airlines Flight 204 on the right. In the middle we have Pegasus, Air Oink arriving from Istanbul in Turkey, A321neo. And the third airplane on the leftmost is Vueling, flying just north of Leiden, pretty far away. Maria, what are you doing? Maria just now gifting 5 memberships. You didn't have to do that, Maria. If there is one moderator who is always there, it is you. You're doing more than enough in that regard to support the channel as it is already. Gifting memberships is not necessary, not for any of the moderators. For nobody, but in particularly not for the moderators. Thank you so much for doing it. A warm welcome to the Aurora Skylines, those new members who just received a gifted membership from none other than Maria. Don't forget to say thank you to her and enjoy those custom emojis that you will now have at your disposal for a month. Maria, dankjewel. Thank you so much. Merry Christmas to you too. Hope you've had a good day. Your first Christmas day is almost over already, while ours has only just begun. This is American Airlines, Flight 204, arriving from Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. 10-year-old airplane, first flight August 2015, the November 809, Alpha Alpha, American Airlines. Good morning, Merry Christmas. Stia, good morning. Stia asks in Dutch whether or not there are also de-icing operations in progress right now. That's a good question. Temperature-wise, you'd think so, but the air is very dry. There was no icing on my windows, my car windows. So I'm not sure if there is any icing required right now. If there is icing in progress, you will see that next to the center runway on the right side. On that part of the platform, you will see the icing operations. It's hard to reach and hard to see. Otherwise, it would have made for a nice location to be filming from, to see the operations in progress. Now, come on, Wolfgang, what are you doing? Wolfgang also just now went ahead, gifted 20 memberships, going berserk. Mate, that is so not necessary. If there is one moderator who is also always there, it is you. You're doing more than enough to support the channel as it is in that way. Now definitely everything will have for lunch and eat and drink will be on me when you come over to ski with me. What the fuck? Come on, mate. That was totally not necessary. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge. Those 20 new members who just received a gifted membership from Wolfgang. If you are one of the recipients, don't forget to say thank you or dankeschön to him. Have fun with the custom emojis. This is Pegasus, Air Oink Flight 1251, arriving from Istanbul in Turkey. Why Pegasus? It says fly pigs on the side. And what do pigs say? Oink oink. Hence Air Oink. A321neo. Hey there, Richie. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Pilot VJ, good morning. And thank you for the kind words, mate. Diana, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Jeffrey, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Hey, Jeff, good morning, mate. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Good to see you again, mate. Daniel, good morning and Merry Christmas. Hope I didn't forget anybody. If you are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. Feel free to shoot any questions that you might be having. No, I pay myself. Absolutely not. You're not going to do that, mate. That is not going to happen. Vueling is up next, arrival from Malaga, flight 8365, A320. Behind it is Delta Airlines flight 56, arrival from Salt Lake City, which we saw on the downwind lag a few minutes ago. There is a third airplane visible already. That's KLM flight 758, arrival from Panama City. That's a 787-10 Dreamliner. And Sarah is also back in the chat. Good morning and Merry Christmas, Sarah, to you and yours. Hope all is well. Hans favorite, Vueling. Not sure if Han is still around. He did pop in this morning to send us a Merry Christmas wish. But he did also announce earlier in the previous weekend that he wasn't going to be around for a long time during the Christmas days because of other obligations. Kabouter Plop, goedemorgen. Kabouter Plop wonders if I'll ever come join a night of spotting on VATSIM. I have no idea. I know what it is. I've heard about it. I have no idea how to access that. I'm an absolute noob when it comes to that. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to John Logan, who just Merry Christmas everybody from Brisbane in Australia, and used a super chat for that as well. You didn't have to use a super chat, mate. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Hope you've had a good day. Hope the temperatures in Brisbane are a bit warmer than they are over here, but that should not be a problem, I suspect. -3 last time I checked the meter, with double-digit wind makes for a considerate wind chill today, but it's Kaiserwetter, as they say in German. Not a cloud to be seen, lovely weather. Just have to keep warm, that's all. Robert Johnson, good morning and Merry Christmas. And welcome, oh no, I was about to say welcome back because it is such a short message, but it is a membership celebration by I, Patrick, 26 months, but no accompanying message. Hi Patrick, thank you so much for your ongoing support, 2 years and 2 months and counting. I hope everything in the lounge is still to your liking. See what I can do to make things better. This was Delta Airlines flight 56, arrival from Salt Lake City, A330. Next will be a Dreamliner 787-10 KLM flight 758, arrival from Panama City. Ed, good morning and Merry Christmas. Welcome back, mate. Jedi Plumber, good morning and Merry Christmas to you and yours. In Gatwick, it is also sunny. Nice to hear. Cold too, probably. Pretty chilly. Once again, starting to sound stuffy. Oh, and I see that the ambient microphone got blown over. What? Just a small breeze. There we go, declog the nose. A warm welcome to everybody who's joined. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy and we are here at Kaagbaan, runway 06, still the only runway in use for arrivals until approximately 11 o'clock. From 11 until 11:40 we are expecting converging arrivals with runway 36 right also opening up presumably. Wind is blowing from the east, it's pretty cold. But as you can see, not a cloud in the sky. Beautiful weather. This is KLM flight 758, arrival from Panama City, 787-10 Dreamliner. If you joined us only minutes ago, you may have missed the first 747 of the show. There are 2 more underway, as is the A380. As well, all 3 quad-engined airplanes that are still underway before 1 o'clock should land here on this runway. And this is the beginning of the Kaagbaan, indeed, DB Wolf. Sean Mitchell, good morning and welcome to the show, mate. Another Merry Christmas from Brisbane in Australia. Thank you so much, Sean. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. I hope you guys had a good day today. Your day almost being over already. Hope it was a good one. I mentioned it before, and here we have a case in point. This is the second ETA of the show, where there is another one is never far off. Not too long ago we saw the ETA arriving from Milan. That was a Bombardier C-Series, an A220 as they're called these days. Now on the right is ETA Airways Flight 108 arriving from Rome. That's an A320neo. And behind it is an E2 Embraer 195 arriving from London Heathrow.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
Hey, and Stacy seems to have changed her name. Stacy the Bird Nerd, love the name. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, Stacy. Hope you've had a good day. Matt, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. ETA Airways Flight 108 arriving from Rome. It's an A320neo, 1 hour and 49 minutes on the way. It's the I-Ho! I-Ho-Ho-Ho, Merry Christmas! EIHOE is the registration. Now, this is one beautiful ho, and it's a young ho as well. Not sure if it's legal. 2 years old, first flight September 2023. My God, what a lovely ho. An Italian ho. Hey Tom, Merry Christmas and welcome back. A little bit of reverser use there. Next up, KLM Flight 1002, arriving from London Heathrow, E2 Embraer 195, and behind it are two Dutch airplanes. Transavia from Salzburg, top. Bottom is a 787-10 from KLM, arriving from Cartagena, which is in Colombia. Joop, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Karsten, guten Morgen. Frohe Weihnachten. Welcome back, mate. Merry Christmas. Jonah Aviation, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Alright, KLM Flight 1002 arriving from London Heathrow, E2 Embraer 195. Flight time 47 minutes. Flight times usually vary between 40 and 45 minutes. Didn't sound as whistly as those E2s usually are. Usually whenever E2s or A220s pass by, they make a very typical whistling sound. Didn't hear it that clearly. It seems like there is a quad-engined airplane further to the west, southwest. Should pass south of us. Pretty far away still, so probably will not be able to make out a lot of details when it is on its closest by. Fritz, guten Morgen und frohe Weihnachten. Good to see you again, mate. In the meantime, also good morning and Merry Christmas to Martin B8337. Mate, thank you so much for your stupendously generous super chat. Wonderful live stream to start the day. Thanks for taking on the Christmas Day shift. You are welcome, mate. Thank you so much for your kind words and for your very generous super chat. You didn't have to use a super chat to get your message across, but thank you for doing it anyway. Happy to take the day shift. I love weather like this. The cold you can dress for. Rain is a bit harder to shield against, at least with my current equipment. So, on a day like today, what is more fun to catch the morning rush hour with weather like this? Just have to make sure that you dress warm enough. Still not my best following. I can follow more accurately if I have a tripod with more drag. I have ordered a new tripod 2 weeks ago, and I think it should be arriving before the end of the year, but I think the upcoming weekend I still have to make do with the current tripod. On occasion it might be a bit wobbly, but that should improve soon. Ah, it's the A380 from Persenchester to Dubai. South of me. Thanks for looking that up, Daniel, and letting us know. It is getting a bit closer by right now. Might be able to make out the tail if it is a bit further up. Not sure how that will work out timing wise, since I am going to follow the next airplane first. KLM flight 741 arriving from Cartagena in Colombia. 787-10 Dreamliner, 8 hours and 58 minutes on the way. 6-year-old airplane, first flight October 2019, the Papa Hotel, Bravo Kilo Charlie. Javuk asks, what lens do I use? I don't use a lens, I use a camcorder, which has everything built inside. Have a look in the video description and you can find more information about my equipment. The tripod should get an update pretty soon. Float tech, tripod legs, an Active 8 tripod head have been ordered. Yeah. The A380 is flying closer to the sun now, and that means it is getting harder to see any details in the airplane. Next up, KLM flight 1930 arriving from Geneva, 737-800. It's back to the narrow bodies for the time being, 3 narrow bodies in a row. KLM flight 1930, 737-800, arriving from Geneva. Embraer 175 for KLM behind it, arriving from Prague, KLM flight 1352. Aegean will be next after that. That's an A321neo arriving from Athens. Buddy has to go. Thank you so much for joining, buddy. Enjoy the rest of your day and hopefully see you again later in the weekend. In the meantime, Mods is celebrating a year of membership. And he has turned green. Thank you so much for your continued support, Mats. That year flew by. Hope everything in the lunch is still to your liking, mates. If it isn't, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. Thank you so much, Mats, for your continued support. I think now the other glove also gave out. Which means it is time to quickly renew a battery. Right, open up the cuff, try to warm out that battery, grab the next, put it in, close the cuff. And turn on the heating elements. Put the glove back on. Wow, my left thumb already is getting numb. That happens so rapidly. All right. even with heated gloves, I still have to keep my hands in my pockets and stand with my back to the wind. Hey Kevo, good to see you, mate. Merry Christmas. And I wish you a mildly pleasant Thursday as well. Let's not get overly enthusiastic. Mildly pleasant is what we aim for. Hey Veronique, goedemorgen. Ooh, creme brulee is in the oven. Nice. Make your own creme brulee, that's good. Do you use vanilla extract or do you use an actual vanilla bean? I usually use a bean and scrape out the core. That makes for the best. Infinitely better than using extracts. But if that's all you can work with, it's also good. It is infinitely better than any store-bought creme brulee, I'll tell you that. Very calorie dense, but my god, is it tasty. This was KLM Flight 1352, arriving from Prague in the Czech Republic, an Embraer 175. Hey there, Dustin. Good morning. Merry Christmas. And Mark H. I'm glad to see you again. The other day, I think it was last Friday, I saw you gifted 5 memberships and I missed it and the mods missed it, and it's only that I watched the entire stream on replay that I saw you gifting 5 memberships and me not even acknowledging it. Mark H, a belated thank you for those 5 gifted memberships last week Friday, and apologies for missing it. I don't do that intentionally, and I apologize, and I'm happy to see that you're back in the chat so that I can at least say a belated thank you and also apologize for missing it when it happened. Good to see you again, Mark H, and Merry Christmas. Mark, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Paul is also back. He is celebrating 31 months of membership. Paul Don, good morning. Merry Christmas to you and yours, and thank you so much for your long-standing support. I hope everything in the lounge is still very much to your liking, and if it isn't, let me know. I mean it. I keep saying it repeatedly, but I honestly mean it. If there's things you think I can improve, let me know. Veronique uses vanilla bean as well for making the creme brulee. It is so lovely. Tray with water. Ah, come on, Mark. I'm not missing it this time. But you didn't have to do that, mate. Mark H just now went ahead, gifted no less than 10 memberships. Thank you so much for that, Mark. Stupendously generous. Once again, you didn't have to do that. Thank you so much for doing it anyway. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. If you are one of the recipients of Mark H's gifted memberships, don't forget to say thank you to him. Enjoy the custom emojis. There's 34 of them, which you can use for a month now if you are the recipient of a gifted membership. If you enjoy the membership, consider renewing it, or maybe gifting somebody else a gifted membership as well who might also enjoy it. Next up, Delta Airlines Flight 136, arriving from Detroit, Michigan. It's an A330-300. 7 hours and 59 minutes on the way to November 820 November Whiskey. 2 airplanes on the glide slope already in the background. Seem to be narrow bodies. I'm not seeing them yet because I'm looking at the details of the Delta. 18-year-old airplane. First flight August 2007. Let me click that away. And another Delta as number 3. Delta Airlines Flight 236. Sandwiched in between an Embraer 175. Hey Lorenzo, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. There's an Embraer 175 coming next. That gives us time to have a look in the side canal, where all of a sudden there are Coots. Chris Coot and his mates are also over there. Merry Christmas to you guys as well. Our feathered little friends. And there's a Chinese triple being pushed back. Good morning, Dietmar. Goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Cal, good morning. Merry Christmas. Robo0860, good morning. Nice and sunny at Schiphol indeed. Daan, goedemorgen. Good morning. Merry Christmas. Yuri, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Arjan, goedemorgen. Arjan van Vught also back in the chat and he comes in with a big bang. 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. You didn't have to do that, Arjan. That is extremely generous from you as well. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Arjan if you are one of the recipients of his gifted memberships. Have fun with the custom emojis. It keeps sounding like a broken record, but it is true. Arjan, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your generosity. Welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge new members. This is a Chinese triple. The next arrival behind me is going to be an Embraer 175. It is 10:53 and that means that in 7 minutes from now we'll get converging arrivals. Runway 36 right will also open up most likely. Angry looking Chinese. One of the GE90s is being started. In the meantime, let me take a small sip of vodka. Oh boy, that vodka is almost frozen already. KLM flight 1828 will be next. That's an Embraer 175. After that, we're going to see Delta Airlines flight 236 arriving from Tampa in Florida. A330-300. And Indito is 8 minutes out, Wolfgang says. Thanks for the heads up. Ramon, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Gilroy, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas, fijne kerst. And Ben the Man wonders, haven't seen Delta A350 in a long time, do they still fly the A350 to Schiphol? I've been wondering the same not too long ago, because I also realized that we haven't seen A350s in a while. I'm not sure, I haven't seen any recently. It's all been A330s and A330neos. Angry looking Chinese 777 doesn't seem to be wanting to leave. Now in the side canal here in the foreground you can see the waves are making sure that the water isn't frozen. The canal has frozen over a little bit further up ahead where it's a bit more calm. Over here as well, water is frozen. I wouldn't dare to venture on it yet. Don't think it'll hold, but who knows, maybe in a few days from now. Then again, usually before it gets thick enough for people to walk over, Schiphol has icebreakers that will go through the canal, break up the ice, make sure that Schiphol is still somewhat hard to reach. This is Delta Airlines flight 236 arriving from Tampa in Florida, A330-300, 8 hours and 50 minutes on the way, the November 806 November Whiskey. Buttery landing. Nice wheelie to boot. And the reversers. That's a full bingo card. Hey, Michael is also back in the chat. Merry Christmas to you and yours, Michael. Good to see you again. Bird control has also returned. You could see it already briefly. K4. Bird controller on duty. Now earlier we could see the angry nose. Means that the triple is on the move and you can see it. It's looking to be crossing the runway in a few moments. Or will it do it right away? I think it's going. Right, Indigo is arriving, but it's going to the wrong runway. Converging arrivals are beginning with Indigo as the first airplane to the wrong runway. I do have it in sight already, and since there is an Embraer 175 arriving here on Kaagbaan, we might as well have a look at Indigo first. Let's see. At the 5 o'clock of the sun. There it is. Hard to see the camera screen with the sun shining right into my face. There is Indigo Flight 21 arriving from Mumbai in India, 7879 Dreamliner. First airplane to 36 right. And that's the beginning of 40 minutes of converging arrivals. After that, from 11:40 until 1 o'clock, once again, Kaagbaan is expected to become the only runway in use for arrivals. Indigo Flight 21 arriving from Mumbai, 7879 Dreamliner, 8 hours and 58 minutes on the way. The airplane is 6 years old. First flight July 2019. Buildings in the foreground making the view a bit more distorted. From this side view you can beautifully see the wing flags of the Dreamliner. And here we should catch one last glimpse of the airplane before losing it behind the buildings. The touchdown we are not able to see. We should be able to see the rollout if we are going to stick around for that, but I don't think I will. In the meantime, also a big thank you to Raymond ZL, who says Merry Christmas all and uses a super chat to get his message across. Merry Christmas to you too, Raymond. Merry Christmas to you and yours. And thank you so much for your super chat, my friend. You didn't have to use a super chat, but you did it anyway. Thank you for that. A beautiful 3 airplane glide stop shot. KLM Flight 1056 arriving from Norwich on the right. In the middle we have KLM Flight 1030 arriving from Persenchester, 737. Iberia next after that. That is an A319. Fourth airplane should also be somewhere out there. Can we see that already? The answer is yes. Over there. That fourth airplane was an Embraer 190 from KLM arriving from Aberdeen. There about is a clock for the time being. I think the next 747 should be arriving within the hour. Let's have a look after this airplane has passed. 1056 arriving from Norwich, and Embraer 175. SW Terhegen, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. Fabian, good morning, Merry Christmas. Split Scimitar, good morning, welcome back, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Martin, good morning, welcome back my friend, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Dirk Wink, good morning, Merry Christmas. And welcome to the show everybody. You're watching AMS Live, my name is Boy and we are here at Kaagbaan, runway 06, primary runway for arrivals. Let's have a quick look. The meter, it updates automatically in the ticker, but here you can also see it visualized. Headwind for the airplanes landing on runway 06. It's -2 and the wind has increased to 18 knots, that is cold. We have the first 747 flying over Wales, arriving shortly before noon, 11:56. We have another one arriving around 1:45, and the A380 is expected around 12:30. So between 12 and 1, three quad-engined airplanes are expected. Meanwhile, 1 KLM 737 just passed us by, flight 1030 arriving from Perth-Chester. Richard, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Narrow bodies o'clock for the time being, 3 narrow bodies on the glide slope. It's a nice linear 3 airplane glide slope shot. Iberia with an A319 arriving from Madrid up first. Next after that will be KLM flight 912 arriving from Aberdeen. That's right in the middle. Third airplane on the left is Transavia flight 6610 arriving from Innsbruck in Austria. Iberia, no longer Iberia Express. Hey Mike W, goedemorgen, good morning. Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. Now, Delta Airlines has become visible on flight radar. Delta Airlines flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Should be following the 2 narrow bodies that are on the glide slope already. It too is an A330neo. And not an A350. It's been a long time since we last saw Delta A350s over here. And I'm also starting to wonder if they are still flying A350s to Amsterdam or if it has become an A330 exclusive destination. Good morning, Top Cat. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Trying to see if I can find the A330 already on the base leg, but it's probably still a bit further out. Anyway, next up, KLM flight 912 arriving from Aberdeen in Scotland. Embraer 190. German Airways. This airplane we used to know as Chucky, the Dupree. First flight January 2008, which makes it as old as the Orange Pride. are using runway 04 for departure. BizJet just took off. Transavia flight 6610 is on the right, and on the left we finally get to see Delta Airlines flight 74. That's the A330neo arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. And this flight I've taken before, arriving from Innsbruck. If you ever get a chance to fly into or out of Innsbruck, take it. Airport situated in a valley, so you'll be approaching the airport between the mountains. Absolutely unique. And if you'll arrive there from the east, you'll fly over the city of Innsbruck shortly before touching down. Absolutely lovely. Indeed, business professor, we miss you, Chucky. It was such a pretty livery, and it got taken away from us. Those bastards. Or maybe Lycifers stopped paying for the advertisement. That is probably the case. Probably just a temporary contract or something. Alright, Delta Airlines Flight 74 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia is next. It's an A330neo, the November 405 Delta X-Ray, 6-year-old airplane. First flight November 2019. 8 hours and 25 minutes on the way. Hey Thijs, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Gary, good morning mate, Merry Christmas. Not seeing any airplanes destined for runway 06 after this Delta right away. Looks like we'll have to wait a bit longer for the next airplane to arrive. In the meantime, Shadow Prepper mate, thank you so much for your generous super chat there. Shadow Prepper wishes us all a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in several languages. I'm not going to pretend like I am able to speak all those languages and pronounce those words properly, but it is probably in English, Norwegian, Netherlands, and Spanish. Thank you so much, Shadow Prepper, for your kind words and for your donation. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, mate. Hope you'll have a good one. Peter, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Dark Laguna, good morning, and Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Welcome back, mate. So for those of you joining us later, there are two 747s and an A380 on the way. One 747 has already landed, and the two 747s and the A380 will land before 1 o'clock, all on this runway. Why do they call these A330 butter machines? This is why. Another full bingo card landing. Butter landing. And a wheelie. And in addition to that, also some use of the reversers. Martin wonders if we'll get a Christmas airplane dance well on the way to 1,000. Is that so, mate? 492 I'm counting. Not too bad. Reason for bird controller to do a runway inspection right away. He's on the runway. The lights are flashing. Doing a runway inspection. Or Just standing still. Oh, he's getting out. Is there something on the runway? Yep. What was that? Was that a bit of debris, or was that a bird remnant? Not sure what that was. Maybe you guys could see it better than I could. Right, continuing on his way. And then even the sign over there says Merry Christmas. Ah, it was a baseball cap, Aviation Seattle says. How on earth did that end up there? Well done, bird controller, for even seeing that. Ben the man says, for me it looked like a bird. Could be. Hey, and Paul is also back in the chat. Merry Christmas, buddy. Good to see ya. Hope all is well on your end. Over here, as you can see, it is completely cloudless. Kaiserwetter, as they call it in German. The sun is out, not very high above the horizon. The wind is blowing from the east. This is what things look like when turning around the camera. Looks like a quad-engined airplane just passed me by. Looks like Lufthansa. Another one. Another one is coming. Over there. I'm starting to sound stuffy again. It's time to re-invite the elephant, the Schiphol elephant. In the meantime, Jörg, mate, what are you doing? Jörg just now went ahead, gifted another 10 memberships. You didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much for your generosity. That is incredible. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Jörg if you are one of the recipients of his 10 gifted memberships. Jörg, once again, thank you so much, mate. Alright, that should make me sound just a little less stuffy. For those of you joining us later, welcome to the show. Merry Christmas. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy and we are here at the runway called Kaagbaan, runway 0624. Now in use for arrivals. Right now there is a runway inspection in progress, and that is why there aren't any landings taking place right now. It is 11:16 and from 11 until 11:40 we usually get converging arrivals with wind blowing the way it is today. Runway 36 right is also open. 1747 already landed here, arriving from Paris. That was a bonus screen, a 7478 from Cathay Cargo. There are 2 more 747s underway from Miami. The first one is expected to arrive in 40 minutes from now. The second one is expected to arrive around 1:45. And between those 747s we're also expecting the Emirates A380, which today was expected around 12:30 local time. You'll find the local time in the bottom left corner of your screen. It's cold and it's windy. Over there the canal is frozen. And Stacy wonders, is it just me or is that rubble pile getting bigger? No, you're right. It is getting bigger. We're also being watched by cones. Yeah, no, they've definitely added some rubble. Makes it even harder for us to see the cargo airplanes behind them. There are a few. On the far right you can see the front part of KLM Cargo. There's also the MPS over there, the Martin Air PH MPS. Silkway is also over there. Now in the meantime, the runway inspection has finished and traffic to the Kaagbaan is once again coming. It's time to turn around the camera and have a look. First airplane coming this way is number 175, KLM flight 1174, arrival from Stavanger. Well, Paul, all is well with me, but I am a little cold, despite all the warm clothing I'm wearing. But yeah, no, doing well. Sigi Friatna asks, airplane from Indonesia. That's a good question. I'm not sure if it is here or if it is underway. We definitely do get airplanes from Indonesia quite regularly. Garuda Indonesia does fly to Amsterdam from Jakarta, but I'm not sure if it is at Schiphol already or if it is underway, or maybe if it has already left and is back on its way to Indonesia. We can see a glide slope shot forming here. KLM 737 arriving from Birmingham as number 2, and KLM A321neo arriving from Paris as number 3. It's KLM Fest. 3 airplanes, 3 different KLM airplane types. An Embraer 175 on the right, in the middle a 737-700, and on the left an A321neo. Meanwhile, a massive big thank you to Sarah Deal, for a super sticker. Let me turn around and have a look. What does this description? A pair character bowing down saying thank you. Well, you're welcome. Thank you so much for your generosity, Sarah. You didn't have to use a super sticker, but you did it anyway. Thank you so much for that. In the meantime, also, good morning and Merry Christmas to Louis and everybody else who may have joined in the meantime. If you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. You can see there are many people watching. They're all friendly. Together they know a lot, so feel free to ask any questions. This was KLM flight 1174 arriving from Stavanger. Embraer 175. Next up, KLM flight 1042 arriving from Birmingham. Hey! Is that the Silkway? I think, yeah, that's the Silkway. The Silkway getting pushed back. Silkway is going to cross the runway pretty soon, I think. Hey, Goose Flying Dutchman. Gosse, is that you, mate? Fijne kerstman, good to see ya. Goose Flying Dutchman, that can only be one. That's my buddy Gosse, who also used to be a pilot at some point earlier in life. Now, if you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like if you haven't already. 1,000 likes will give you guys an airplane dance and will give me some warming up. Some much needed warm up. I saw it already. I saw it already when I was walking up here. SW on the tail, Silkway. Haven't seen that in a long time. Lately they've been flying the 777 into Amsterdam more regularly than the 747. Hey Oksana, good morning, Merry Christmas. out. Two 747s. Or is that the triple? No, that's a... Wait a minute. No, that's not a 747 tail. That's a triple tail. That is Suparna. Or is it? Am I... It is a 7... Huh? It is a 747, right? Is that two 747s getting pushed back? That is Suparna getting pushed back in the background, and here in the foreground it is Lufty. In the meantime, welcome back John McKenzie, who just renewed his membership. We kept your seat warm. Thank you for your continued support, mate. Welcome back. And celebrating 23 months of membership as well. Merry Christmas from East Asia. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, mate. Welcome back, and thank you for your vote of confidence. It is a triple. It is a triple. Lufty triple, Silkway 7-4. Right. They'll have to cross the runway at some point to be taxiing to their the runway of departure. In the meantime, we can turn around, have a look at the A321neo that is arriving from Paris. KLM flight 1404. Next after that, a 737 arriving from Edin.
Bruh.
Next airplane on the glide slope to the Kaagbaan is KLM flight 924, arriving from Edinburgh in Scotland. It's Embraer Fest after that, an Embraer 175 followed by two Embraer 190s, all from KLM. Will land next on the Kaagbaan. Daniel, good morning, Merry Christmas. Hey, you're welcome, Jeff. You're welcome. Right, is Queenie on the move already? Not yet. She'll have to cross the runway at some point, as will the Suparna. KLM flight 924 arrival from Edinburgh. With a queen and a triple in the background, let's have a quick look to see where the other queens and king are. Looking on flight radar, we can see that the next 747 is in the vicinity of Norwich and is going to cross the Gulf of Yorkshire pretty soon. It is expected shortly before noon. Then we have another 747 over there, which is expected now shortly before 1 o'clock. In the Czech Republic, we have the Emirates A380, which is expected around 12:30. Current status quo, in the ticker you can already see it. Here, a renewal will tell you that it is still -2 degrees Celsius and the wind is 18 knots. It is KVK but it is a bit chilly. In the meantime, a massive big thank you to Mats, who just now went ahead and gifted no less than 10 memberships. Mate, thank you so much for your stupendous generosity. That is incredible. Thank you so much. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Mats if you are one of the recipients of his gifted memberships. Have fun with the custom emojis that you will now have at your disposal for a month. Mats, dankjewel. Thank you so much for your generosity. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge new members. Groover or Grover, still not sure how to pronounce it properly. Welcome back. Merry Christmas to you and yours. We have an Umbrella 175 over here, arriving from Brussels, KLM flight 1704. And 2 Umbrella 190s after that, arriving from Newcastle and Glasgow respectively. This flight from Brussels has taken 24 measly minutes. Together with Jurk's hometown of Düsseldorf, the closest by destinations in terms of flight time. Norwich, I think, comes after that. London, Paris, and Luxembourg after that. And Silkway is crossing the runway. Mrs. Professor has to sign off. Going to bed. Thank you for joining, Mrs. Professor. Enjoy your Christmas and see you again soon. Dopey, Merry Christmas and thank you for the kind words. Karen, good morning, Merry Christmas. Butje, good morning, Merry Christmas. Milo, goedemorgen, fijne kerst. The triple is still waiting. The triple is still waiting. One at a time, one at a time. KLM flight 954 up next. Arriving from Newcastle, Umbrella 190, and on its left another Umbrella 190, KLM flight 936 arriving from Glasgow. Music City Mur, good morning, tuning in from Nashville, Tennessee, good morning. En Merry Christmas. Diana, fijne kerst. Phil, good morning. Welcome to the show, one and all. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. We're here at Schiphol Airport, the Kaagbaan, runway 06. Still one of 2 runways in use for arrivals for another 10 minutes. After that, the only runway once again until approximately 1 o'clock. 1747 has already landed. 2 more are on the way. We're also still expecting the Emirates A380. Emirates A380 is expected in an hour from now. And in 25 minutes from now, the first 747. The second 747 an hour after that. We just saw Silkway passing the runway, crossing the runway. And the Suparna Triple will do the same in a moment. In the meantime, Klaas, mate, what are you doing? Klaas Reiners just now went ahead, gifted another 5 memberships. You didn't have to do that, mate. Thank you so much. That is incredibly generous. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge new members. Don't forget to say thank you to Klaas if you are one of the recipients of his gifted memberships. Hey, Jose, also the recipient of a membership. Nice. Don't forget to spam us with the custom emojis then. One of my heated gloves batteries has given out. Time to renew it. Hey Apple Flaps, good morning. Henk, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas to you, all of you. Merry Christmas. Hope you guys are having a good time. Hope you guys are staying dry and warm. Over here it is dry. It is definitely Not as warm as it normally is, but it is a lovely day here. Kaiser better. Not a cloud to be seen. Low temperatures and a bit of wind. And Klaus just now went ahead, gifted another 5 memberships. Mate, what are you doing? Thank you so much. That is incredibly generous. I keep saying it, a warm welcome to the Aurora Skylines new members. Don't forget to say thank you if you are the recipient of a gifted membership. Klaas, thank you so much. Welcome to the Skylines, those new members, and have fun with the custom emojis that you will now have at your disposal for a month. 34. And I encourage you all to use those custom emojis as much as possible. Get creative with them. Use them inappropriately, that's even more fun. Suparna Airlines 777 freighter crossing runway 06. Martin has received a Zippo hand warmer. Works well, he says. That's one of those units where you have to put in lighter fluid and then it burns, right? I think I've seen those before somewhere. Pretty sure they work well. Now I have to say my current heated gloves also work a treat, but they are constantly set on the highest setting, which means that those batteries run out in 2 or so hours. Right now I'm starting with the last batch of batteries, so I have to be very careful. Stretch them long enough to make it till the end of the stream, which is still 1.5 hours from now. Klaas, what are you doing, mate? You're not drunk, are you? Don't spend any money on AMS Live that you need yourself. I'm saying it jokingly, but in all honesty, don't spend any money on the channel that you need yourself, guys. Another 10 gifted memberships by Klaas Reiners just now. That is incredible. Thank you so much, Klaas. You really didn't have to do that. I hope that everybody who receives a gifted membership today does thank the gifter. If you don't know who it is, doesn't matter, but at least come in the chat and say thank you. Enter the custom emojis. They're there. They have been created for you guys to have fun with, so make sure that you do. I don't see any traffic to the other runway anymore. Runway 36 right seems to have closed. It seems that all traffic once again is coming to this runway. That should be the case until approximately 1 o'clock. Each jet up next, A320neo, arriving from London Luton. Look away if you guys are Luton intolerant, because it might give you the cramps. I'm hearing GE90 is being started. Makes sense that I'm hearing them. Makes sense because there is another 777 being pushed back, another angry Chinese. There it is. In the meantime, also a massive big thank you to Apple Flaps, who writes, ho ho ho, Merry Christmas, boy. Thanks for all the efforts made this year. Still the best in Netherlands, mate. Thank you so much, Apple Flaps, for your generosity, for your super chat, and for your kind words. I'm happy to hear you're appreciative of what I do. I do my best. I do the best I can, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. Thank you so much for the kind words, Apple Flaps. That's GE90 number 2 starting. The wind is blowing the sound right in our direction. another airplane to cross the runway in a few moments. And also a massive big thank you to Richie Cantillon, who just went ahead and gifted 5 memberships. Richie, thank you so much for your generosity. I keep sounding like a broken record. I apologize for that, but it's very busy with donations today. Thank you all so much. You guys really don't have to do that. Just bring in new subscribers and new viewers. That's all I'm asking for. We need the momentum again. If you guys know anybody who might also enjoy this content, recommend Amos Live to them. That's what we need right now. The algorithm is letting us down, but you guys can help by promoting the channel to you and to yours, to the people you know who might also be interested in following the channel. And welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those recipients of Richie's gifted memberships. Don't forget to say thank you to him. Richie, once again, thank you so much for your generosity. Lufty 747 out of Frankfurt, east to west. Got him in sight. Got him in sight. There it is. The 747 that Wolfgang was referring to. Right, 777-300 arrival from Rio de Janeiro also coming. And in the meantime, a massive big thank you also to the Dutch plane seeker who just now went ahead and gifted no less than 20 flipping memberships. That is incredible, mate. Thank you so much, Dutch plane seeker, for that stupendously generous gifting. A warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 20 recipients. Don't forget to say thank you if you are one of the 20 recipients of the Dutch plane seekers gifted memberships just now. Have fun with the custom emojis. Dutch plane seeker, mate, thank you so much for your generosity, and a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those 20 new members. Have fun with the custom emojis. They're there to be had fun with, so make sure that you do. There's the Lufty 747. The wind is blowing at a 90-degree angle versus the camera orientation, and that makes it a bit juddery. Air France up next, flight 1500 arriving from Paris, Bombardier C Series 300. After this, 3 Embraers once again. Embraer 190 and 2 Embraer 175s. This is Air France flight 1500 arriving from Paris. It's a Bombardier C Series 300 and A220. 44 minutes the flight time. That's a nominal flight duration. And congratulations and thank you to both Dirk on Tour and the Dutch plane seeker, both celebrating membership anniversaries. Dirk on Tour, a member for 19 months, and the Dutch plane seeker, half a year. Thank you both for your ongoing support. Merry Christmas, Dirk on Tour, to you and yours. Hope the lounge is still to you, both your liking. If that's no longer the case, let me know. Let me see what I can do to make things better. The next to cross the runway, and let's see, Wolfgang says Silkway lined up at Polderbaan. I think I see the Silkway already. There it is, going. China Southern Cargo, waiting for clearance to cross the runway. There's an Embraer 190 arriving from Hanover up next. That is going to land first. Not sure if there's enough spatial separation between it and the next airplanes behind for the triple to be able to cross, or if it has to wait for a bigger gap. It will have to wait a few minutes. Two Embraer 175s up next, one from Luxembourg, the other from Bremen. And good morning, Wombat Parade. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. And Hans Worst, you did succeed in sending the membership highlighted message, the membership birthday, 2 months of membership. We are seeing it. Congratulations and thank you so much, Hans. All right. Cargolux 10 minutes out, Wolfgang says, the first of the two that are expected before 1 o'clock. Another one expected an hour later. And in between, nicely separated, around 12:30 should be the Emirates A380. The first A350 of the show, the Willem World to Fly Corendon A350, is approaching and will be the third arrival here after the two Embraer 175s. This is KLM flight 1710 arriving from Luxembourg, 43 minutes of flight time, nominal flight duration. I think the triple will probably cross the runway. Oh, now. Now. Okay. Hey there, Yusuf. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well, mate. Michael Vogel, good morning. Merry Christmas. I think, was that Fidel Castro? Not sure. Anyway, first A350 of the show is now number 2, Corendon World to Fly, flight 5990, arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao. There's an Embraer 175 arriving from Bremen here in the foreground, but I am preferring to keep the camera focused at the A350 for the time being. JetBlue arriving from Boston, Massachusetts will be following it. The first A350 of the show. Initially I tried to see if I could make it in time for the One World A350 from Finnair that landed earlier this morning, but it was really early. CA33SA says Merry Christmas from Eugene in Oregon. Good morning and Merry Christmas to you too, mate. Welcome back. If you guys are new to the channel, don't be afraid to say hi in the chat. It isn't mandatory, but it is always appreciated. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Many are watching. Together they are very knowledgeable. They're all friendly. And if you guys are enjoying the show, don't forget to leave a like. And maybe subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to support this channel and help us reach a wider audience. Corendon World to Fly, the first A350 of the show. Where have the Delta A350s gone to? It's been a long time since we last saw those. This World to Fly Corendon A350 is arriving from Willemstad, Curaçao, which is in the Caribbean Sea, just off the coast of Venezuela. 8 hours and 45 minutes the flight time. It's the ECNZF November Zulu Foxtrot, 2-year-old Spanish registered airplane, the first flight of which was in May 2023. Iceland Air Max 8 737 Flight 500 will follow the JetBlue as third to arrive here. Hey Martin Dingle tuning in and sends us Merry Christmas. Fantastic channel, thank you for the kind words, mate. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. There's the Iceland Air Max 8 in the background, flying base, approaching the glide slope. Matt says, looks like it has half a wing. Yeah, at some point it did look a little like the outer part of the right wing here on the left side was missing. At least that's what it looked like to me. What a looker, eh? Can't wait for KLM to receive their first A350. That's supposed to happen somewhere in 2026, right? Arjan, goedemorgen. Roxana, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas to both of you. German Monster, good morning. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Huub, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Senna, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Pjotteke, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Infinity, goedemorgen, kerel. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Welcome to the show, guys. You're watching AMS Live. My name is Boy. And indeed, the subjective temperature with the wind is -11, then he writes. It's a bit warmer here. Then again, it's also been grayer and rainier. I prefer the cold over rain and grayness any time of the year. Next up will be JetBlue, arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. Home of Sarah, the real deal. A321neo, the flight time has been 7 hours and 10 minutes. The November 4022 Juliet, 5-year-old airplane, first flight November 2020. Nelly, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. Fijne kerst. Pierre, good morning. Merry Christmas. The next 747 is flying base. And I think I have it in sight. There it is. Cargo Lux, arriving from Miami, Florida. Queen number 2. And here, JetBlue, arriving from Boston, Massachusetts. Right, next up, Iceland Air. Max 8737. And following it, Queen number 2, Cargo Lux. Cargo Lux arriving from Miami, Florida. There's the 747. The gear is already out. Frog in my throat. Cargo Lux, no flight number, just a call sign, 86 November. 8 hours and 18 minutes underway from Miami, Florida. Luxembourg registered LXJCV. Lima X-ray, Juliet, Charlie, Victor. 19-year-old airplane, first flight November 2006. And I totally missed Thijs Mooks gifted the super chat. Merry Christmas, got AMS live merch for Christmas, love it. What did you get, Thijs? Thank you, Wolfgang, I did miss the message. Sorry for that, Thijs, that was not on purpose. Now, you didn't have to use a super chat to say that you got some merch. What merch did you get? I hope you will enjoy it. Hey Simone, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. And Senna, this is the Kaagbaan indeed. Runway 06. Jan, thank you for the kind words. Jan Aardeval says, very nice channel. Doing the best I can, mate. Thank you. The airplane that you see behind the 747 is KLM Flight 1004. That's an A321neo arriving from London Heathrow. Good morning, David Jones. And a big thank you to whoever gifted him the membership. Merry Christmas to you and yours, mate. Tuning in from the center of England. And where might that be? Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Queen number 2. The first one arrived from Paris, a bonus Queen that wasn't airborne before the stream began. This one was. Another one, which will arrive in an hour from now, also from Miami, is also underway. And halfway between the two 747s, this one and the next one, we'll see the Emirates A380. They're all expected to land here on this very runway, so if you don't have to be anywhere just yet, stick around because we are going to catch them all, just like Pokemon. Don't forget, if you're enjoying the show, leave a like if you haven't already. 1,000 likes will give me some exercise and you an airplane dance. Cargo Lux, flight number unknown, call sign 86 November, 19-year-old airplane, first flight November 2006. Not the oldest, but also not the youngest. The first Queen landed with idle reversers. Will this one do too, or will we get to hear the reversers? We'll find out in a minute. Idle reversers. Little disappointing, I have to say. Last time we were at the Polderbound when there were several 747s landing, the same happened. Biebe de Bas, goedemorgen, Merry Christmas. A t-shirt and the Christmas bear. Nice, I think you might be the first person to have gotten the Christmas bear, Thijs. Hope it'll last you a long time. And of course the t-shirt Hopefully it will be t-shirt weather again soon. Right. 2 queens down, 1 more to go. 1 A380 also still to go. Long distance headshot incoming. In the meantime, I'm hearing traffic overhead. That's a twin jet, not too far away from me. Quite clearly a Dreamliner of sorts, though a bit hard to see which carrier. Surely that wasn't Air Europa, or was it? This is headshot. And indeed, David, Anchorage is definitely on the bucket list for me to visit sometime in the future. United. Ah, thank you, German Monster. Idle is not ideal. Indeed, an ideal will also be no more pretty soon. The payment method, but that's a different subject altogether. Meanwhile, you heard KLM Flight 1004 arriving here, landing on the runway, an A321neo. It's narrow bodies o'clock for the time being once again. The next arrival to the Kaagbaan is going to be an Embraer 190, then a jet, an A321neo from Istanbul. Hans favorite Vueling as number 3. Then maybe another KLM narrowbody, 737. Hey Martinair, goedemorgen, fijne kerstdagen man. Merry Christmas. And it seems that we've crossed through 700 likes. Thank you all so much for the support thus far. That's 70% of an airplane dance done in the pocket. Keep it up, guys, and I'll give you guys some entertainment and myself some warmth through exercise. Airplane dance at 1,000 likes while live. Keep them coming. Plan is to stick around until the last 747 has also landed. Should be in an hour or so from now. This is KLM Flight 972 arriving from Humberside. Embraer 175, 45 minutes of flight time. Papa Hotel Echo Zulu Echo, Fiji come, Fiji go. She's 16 years old already. First flight was in June 2009. Also a massive big thank you to Alan Lee. Super chatting. Good morning from the northeast of England. Thanks for all your hard work over the year. Have a Christmas drink with me. I will definitely do that, mate. Once I get home, I'll uncork a nice bottle. Well, maybe first a cup of coffee. I'll be honest with you, I probably have lunch and coffee first and then start hitting the liquor. Nah. That makes me seem like I am some raging alcoholic, which I'm definitely not. Although a little schnapps now would definitely come in handy. Oh, come to think of it, I have some vodka. Let me take a small sip. Now, Alan, thank you so much for your super chat and for your kind words and for your donation. Doing the best I can. Glad to hear you're still enjoying it. I hope it goes for everybody. Next up, a jet arriving from Istanbul, Turkey. A321neo. Flight time for this flight normally is around 3 hours, and current flight time 3 hours and a minute. So that is completely nominal. 2-year-old airplane, first flight November 2023. It's a jet. Navy Jack is also back in the chat. Good to see you, mate. Welcome back. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Hope all is well. Next up, 2 airplanes on the glide slope. Another one is a bit further away still. But we can see that as well at the 7 o'clock of the number 2. Vueling up next, that's on the right. In the middle we have a 737 from KLM, flight 1602, arriving from Rome. At the 7 to 8 o'clock, still 7, of the number 2, still a bit further away, is a 737 from KLM, arriving from Hamburg. It is mostly narrow bodies, although I am seeing an A300 from MNG coming this way. Solin Air, arriving from Cologne, all white by the looks of it. That's coming this way. Hey Henk, goedemorgen. Merry Christmas. Dunsdikt, good afternoon. Merry Christmas to you and yours. And this is Vueling, flight 8309. Is the dot still in place? It looks like it. That is still in place. Other than contrails in the sky is still perfectly blue. This is looking to the north. This is looking to the west. This is looking to the east, where the wind is blowing from. And this is looking to the south. The sun now approximately approaching its highest point in the sky today, which here at 52 degrees latitude is around 15 degrees above the horizon. Probably a bit less still. In half a year from now, that's completely the other way around. Approaching 70 degrees, I think. Small shadows. Trekkerspot, goedemorgen. Jurek, good morning. Serna, Feliz Navidad. And Merry Christmas to everybody else who has joined in the meantime. KLM flight 1602 arriving from Rome. Astrid, goedemiddag, fijne kerst. Astrid wonders how my cat is doing. It is still blind, that's not going to improve. Did do some tests. Thyroid is normal, kidneys are normal. Blood pressure also appears to be normal, but the vet was hearing a murmur, so I'll go to a veterinarian radiologist on Monday to do an ultrasound of the heart to see if the heart is still okay or not. But yeah, my cat has gone blind, and that's still the case. That seems to be irreversible. Luckily, he was an indoor cat already, and he knows his way around the house. So he is pretty calm, given the circumstances. He even manages to come up and greet me when the alarm goes in the morning. Means going upstairs in dark. So I have to say, I'm surprised by his adaptability. At first glance you wouldn't know he was blind, but he is. If I lay some treats in front of him, he doesn't see them. I need to tap where he can find them, or he has to use his nose. If I try to play with a laser, he normally sees it and already starts looking around when he hears it. Now no longer does he see it. I've tried to see if he could see anything, but doesn't seem to be the case. Well, I mostly hope that his heart is still okay. So in that respect, Monday will be an interesting day. Hey, that's good news, Maria. A380 confirmed for the Kaagbaan. That's also coming this way. On the left we have a 777-300ER. On the right we have KLM flight 1800 arriving from Düsseldorf. That's an Embraer 190. And the 777-300ER in the background. You can see that the airplanes are crabbing a little bit. Wind is blowing from the east and the airplanes are flying to the northeast. Good morning, Wolfenwild. Merry Christmas. JP Krause, I am spoiling my cat silly already. Don't you worry, I am a cat person and have been all my life. Right, this is KLM flight 1800 arriving from Düsseldorf, JD's hometown, and that is a mere 32 minutes by airplane. Still a bit further than the flight from Brussels, or a bit longer, I should say. I think the distance is very similar. The earlier arrival from Brussels only took 24 minutes. Which is interesting because the wind is blowing from the east, so you would think that the airplane arriving from Düsseldorf would have had tailwind. Next up, KLM flight 792 arriving from Sao Paulo, which is in Latin America, where you can also find a country called Ecuador. Again, a 777 arriving from Asia, or at least KLM Asia flying, I should say. It's not arriving from Asia, of course, Latin America, Latin Asia. 10 hours, 41 minutes on the way. The Papa Hotel, Bravo Victor Bravo, BVB, 17-year-old airplane, first flight March 2008. Saudia 78710 on the downwind. Wolfgang said before he retracted the message. A300 from MNB as number 3. Barely visible above the buildings. Wolfgang says, did a strange turn, so not sure anymore. Well, there's no other runway open for arriving traffic than the Kaagbaan right now. So they might get some deviating vectors from ATC, but if all is well until 1 o'clock, everything headed for Schiphol should land here on this runway still. Hey Lord Andrew, Merry Christmas to you and yours. Welcome back, mate. Joy, goedemorgen, tuning in all the way from Suriname. Merry Christmas to you too, buddy. At Schiphol there's always a lot to see. That is now in the center of our field of view, an Embraer 170, flight 263, arriving from Warsaw. 1 hour and 33 minutes on the way. It is actually a 4-airplane glide slope shot here, ladies and gentlemen. Have a look at this, a V-shape glide slope. Picture with the camera taken, still picture. Might make a nice thumbnail. Not sure if you can see it properly, but right, lot as number 1 on the right, out of view now. The Embraer, yeah, the Embraer 170, the A300, now number 2, MNB, arriving from Cologne, KLM 737 arriving from Milan, and an A321neo Transavia arriving from Valencia. That's the glide slope right now. Lot Embraer 170. Martin asks, what is a traditional Dutch Christmas dinner? On the news yesterday, it seemed like most people did something that in Dutch we call gourmetten, which I'm not sure how that translates to English. But the people who got interviewed, because there's always an obligatory item on the news about people buying their Christmas dinner stuff in the supermarkets, they said they were going to do that. So it seems that has become something of a traditional dinner for Christmas. Yeah, how does that translate to English, guys? I'm pretty sure it translates differently than gourmetting. you probably don't say gourmetting in English. Yeah, barbecue but indoors, indeed, with small trays or something. I have to say, I've never done it myself, at least not that I can recall. A300 up next, and it's not even a banana. Talking about bananas, Solon Air flying for MNG. Arriving from Cologne. This is an A300 600 freighter. Wow, 36 years old. Hailing from the 1980s. First flight was in September 1989. I was still firmly in elementary school for another 5 years or so. I think in that year I began to learn to read. 3rd grade in elementary school. Wow. Registration Sierra 5 Alpha Bravo Whiskey. Wow. What were you doing in 1989? Check it out. 36 years old. So we are having a white Christmas after all. Hey Jess, good morning, Merry Christmas. Right. Saudia is now flying in the vicinity of Zandvoort, so yeah, got him in sight. There it is, that's the Saudia 78710. Ah, it's the new livery. Perfect. A lot of atmospheric disturbances. Despite the airplane not flying above any buildings in the foreground right away. Unless those are heat waves emanating from the highway here in the foreground. But it looked like the airplane was high enough for those not to interfere. Hey, I can hear an airplane engine starting behind me. Ah yeah. Thought I heard a 777 engine. The Qatar cargo, which I think we saw land here earlier this morning, has... Hey, what? Oh no. I was also seeing... It was looking initially like the A300 would go to the other side of the airport, which surprised me since it is a cargo airplane. This is going to cross the runway to the other side, to the side that the triple is still standing. They're both going to cross the runway at some point. And A380 downwind to my east, Wolfgang says. Yeah, but it's still in Almere. That's still not visible. Alrighty. Let's see, what is next? Transavia, A321neo arriving from Valencia. Tap Air Portugal with an A321neo behind that as well. Two back-to-back A321neos. This is Transavia flight 6332. 2 hours and a minute on the way. Papa Hotel, Yankee Hotel Echo. Brand new, first flight July this year. And since we've crossed through 750 likes, that's 250 more to go for an airplane dance. Thank you all so much, ladies and gentlemen, for the support thus far. Glad to hear you guys are enjoying. Hope it goes for everybody. Leave a like if you are enjoying the show, but you haven't liked already. 1,000 likes while live will give you guys an airplane dance and me some much needed exercise to stay warm. After the two A321neos, we'll see the 787-10 from Saudia. Somewhere over there, we should start seeing the A380 at some point. I don't suppose this is it already, or is it? No, wait, I think it is. I think it is. Yep, it is. This is Emirates Flight 147 on the downwind leg, approaching a lake called Vinkeveense Plas, or the Vinkeveense Plassen, actually, plural, divided by a road. You can also see it on flight radar. The Baanbrugse Zuwe is its name. That's Millionaires Row, with several football players having mansions over there. It's where the A380 is flying right now. That water is Vinkeveense Plassen. And you'll see a line, that's a road, Baanbrugse Zuwe. Have a look. Multi-million mansions over there. Meanwhile, the A300 has already crossed the runway. The Qatar triple still has to make it over here to cross. Honda has to go, has to work, working on Christmas Day. Take care, mate. Thank you for joining. Hopefully see you later in the weekend. Should be out for another stream tomorrow as well. Hopefully the rest of the weekend as well. The weather is good. So there's no reason not to stream. Alright. pretty soon we're going to see the Emirates A380 land here, and in half an hour from now the next 747. That's going to be the last airplane of the day, I think. Don't think my heated gloves will have more juice left in the tank to go much further past that time. Tap Portugal up next, flight 668 A321neo, arriving from Lisbon in Portugal. Saudia Dreamliner up next in the new livery. I'm sounding stuffy again. Time to invite the elephant back in the room. New livery of Saudia, white and a green stripe. I personally think it looks infinitely better than that older beige livery. Looks pretty classy and retro-y. Saudia flight 215, we saw it on downwind earlier already. 78710. 5 hours and 39 minutes away, 2,428 nautical miles it has journeyed. The Hazar 29, Hotel Zulu Alpha Romeo 29 is the registration. It is a 5-year-old airplane already. The first flight of this airplane was in November 2020, so it turned 5 last month. Meanwhile, Dennis Revere, thank you so much for your stupendously generous gifting. 10 gifted memberships just now. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Dennis. You really didn't have to do that. Thank you so much, though, for doing it anyway. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. If you are one of the recipients of Dennis's 10 gifted memberships just now, don't forget to say thank you to him. Have fun with the 34 custom emojis that you now have at your disposal for a month. Make sure to have fun with them. Thank you so much, Dennis. Incredibly generous. And a warm welcome to the Aurora Sky Lounge, those new members. The 7478 is also getting pushed back. The airplane that we saw land here earlier this morning. Perfect timing then, Daniel. Just back in time for the A380. The A380 is coming. Qatar is going, as is the 7478. And it's already crossing. Has it happened again? Has Dennis gifted himself a membership? That is now the third. If that is true, that is the third time in a very short period of time that we have seen this happen. That is definitely a glitch in the system, in the matrix. Well, congratulations, Dennis. Don't forget to say thank you to Dennis. What? Hey, the gear is extending on the A380. Hatches open, the outer main gear comes out first. After that comes out the inner main gear. And then all the hatches will close again. That's different from the 747, where the main gear all come out together. On the Emirates A380, you can see it's more sequential. Emirates Flight 147, now number 2 to arrive here. Driver from Dubai. 6 hours and 42 minutes the flight time. 6.5 hours is what they normally average at this point. So on a 6-hour flight, I would call this a nominal flight duration still. The airplane is registered A6 Echo Oscar Bravo. 11 years old, first flight June 2014. Case, good afternoon, Merry Christmas. Welcome to the show, everybody else. I'm skipping the Transavia that is now landing. That's the fate of narrow bodies that are preceding quad-engined airplanes. If you just came here to see the Emirates A380, it might be worthwhile to stay around for another half hour. There is another 747 expected from Miami, Florida, now underway and expected to land here shortly before 1 o'clock. My plan is to stick around until it has landed, so if you don't have to be anywhere, stick around, sit back, relax, enjoy the A380 first, and finish the stream with us together with the 747 in half an hour from now. Emirates Flight 147 arrived from Dubai. The two 747s preceding it did not deploy their reversers. They landed with idle reverse thrust. Fingers crossed that the A380 will not do the same. If there's one airplane that can get gnarly loud when applying the reversers, it is the Emirates A380, and that's even with only 2 engines deploying reversers. Just the inner engines. Well, fingers crossed. We also haven't seen any go-arounds yet today, so the first go-around of the day being an Emirates A380 would make for a nice treat, but given the wind, I'm not counting on it. I'm not counting on such a big Christmas present. It's not going to happen. Or? Okay, spoke too soon. Not too bad, not too bad. Emirates A380 has landed here. And over there we have another 747. We saw this one land earlier. It was the bonus queen arriving from Paris. Now getting pushed back. Wolfgang has to go. Be the cook of the family dinner today. That makes me wonder what's for dinner tonight. I still have time to drive over to Linz. Should make it in time if I put the pedal to the metal. Nah, we'll see each other soon enough in real life again. Thank you for joining us today, Wolfgang. Enjoy your day, enjoy dinner. Hopefully see you again later in the weekend. Hey there, Chavs. Welcome back, mate. Merry Christmas. Chav says, I was praying one of the top streamers would be live today and MS Live answered my prayers. Thank you, boy, and best wishes to mods and all. Well, thank you, Chavs, for your kind words. Happy to oblige. Surely there must be other streamers out there as well. Wolfgang says beef, so nothing you need to rush for. Well, I don't know how well you can prepare beef, mate. Sky Express, A320neo. Let's arrive from here. Still claiming that Greece is bliss. We need people from Greece in the chat to confirm this. I'm not buying anything that's being put on an airplane. Might be true, might not be true. If there are Greeks in the chat, please chime in and let us know, is Greece really bliss? Or is it all just make-believe? There's still one of these airplanes underway. Expected shortly before 1 o'clock. Quick look on Flight Radar will tell us that the airplane we're now waiting for is expected shortly after 1 o'clock, 1:01, the estimated time of arrival. Atlas Air, but it's the white and yellow version. That will be the last airplane for me for today. Next up, landing here is KLM flight 1944 and E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Basel. E2 whistle. Instantaneously recognizable. And Gary in Amsterdam also has to go. Mate, thank you for joining. Thank you for your super chat. You really didn't have to use a super chat to get your message across. Christmas dinner at English Dutch house, can't be late. You definitely shouldn't be late, mate. Thanks for stopping by. Enjoy dinner. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see each other again soon enough, though. No doubt about that. Meanwhile, I'm quickly replacing the final battery, 6th and last battery that I have at my disposal for my heated glove. And in the meantime, also following this Cathay Cargo, which is crossing runway 06. That's 7478 Cathay Cargo that we saw here as first 747 landing. Bonus Queen arriving from Paris. It wasn't airborne before the stream started. There was an extra one underway. In the meantime, it seems that we've crossed through 800 likes. 800 likes. Thank you all so much for that, ladies and gentlemen. 80% of an airplane dance done. Will we make it in time before the end of the show? We'll have to see. Time will tell. 20 or so minutes left before the last 747 for today. We'll land here. Transavia 737 arriving from Alicante, not sure how to pronounce that appropriately in English. Is it Alicante? Alicante? Something like that. In Dutch we say Alicante. You'll probably say E at the end, right? Anyway. E2 Embraer 195 arriving from Bergen in the foreground, and behind it is an Air France Bombardier C Series 300, an A220. When passing by, both of these airplanes will sound very similar. That's because they have engines that are related, both equipped with geared turbofan high bypass engines, and they have a very specific sound. Both of them are also very capable of producing those so-called whale sounds that you hear when throttling up and throttling down. It's a typical thing for geared turbofan engines, and the only two airplane types that I at least know of currently visiting Schiphol that have those engines are the E2 Embraers, that's a whistle, and the airplane that will land here next, the A220. Jess is just trying to figure out where your streaming spot is on Google Maps. Any clues? Well, if you find the Kaagbaan, Runway 0624, and you trace that a little bit in the runway heading to the southwest, on the right, no, on the left, on the south, you will find a patch of grass, and that is where I'm standing. So the very end of the runway, the southwesterly end of runway 06 is right there. And I'm standing a little bit to the southeast of that. You will find a canal over here and a road over there that has a corner in it. That's right behind the two guys that are standing over there. That road is called Beach Avenue. That's where I enter the patch of grass that I'm standing in, and I'm now standing at the very far end, closest to the runway line, the center line. You should be able to find it when you look on Google Maps. Maria is signing off. Apple Flaps also. Thank you both for joining here today. Enjoy your sleep or the rest of your day respectively. Should see each other again later in the weekend. And there you can hear the whistle, similar whistle. They're not equipped with exactly the same engines, but Alvin, our moderator, did look into it and they are related. Great to hear, Chaz. Happy to hear you found it. Now, the satellite footage that you see on Google Maps is a little outdated. If you look at earlier streams from me at this location, you will also see that the topography has changed a little. They rerouted the canal just slightly compared to what it used to be before. But in essence, I'm still standing at the same location as I've always been standing here ever since the inception of the channel. Narrow body's o'clock for the time being. The first wide body to approach is flying downwind south of me and has just passed me by. Right there, Qatar. That's Qatar Airways. It's the 777-300ER. It's the passenger version. It's not Qatar Cargo, it's Qatar Airways. That should be the first next wide body to land here on Kaagbaan. Although there's also a 777 arriving from Guayaquil. That is of course a port town in it's also headed this way, and I'm not sure which of the two will arrive here first. Hey, Jetstream Journeys has also joined. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you and yours. Welcome back, mate. For now, it is narrow bodies o'clock with a Bombardier C-Series from Air Baltic arriving from Riga as number 1 and a BA A321neo as number 2 arriving from London Heathrow.
You know, fish, chips, cup of tea, bad food, worse weather, Mary fucking Poppins, London.
Airplane number 3 is turning in the background, and that is KLM flight 1818. Embraer 175 arriving from Frankfurt. So we have Air Baltic arriving from Riga on the right, in the middle BA A321 arriving from London. And below it, number 3, Embraer 175 KLM flight 1818 arriving from Frankfurt. The countdown to 1,000 likes while live is being followed by Mats. We're at 174 more likes to go for an airplane dance. Will we make it? Time is running out. At least we'll be getting really close to it. German Monster keeps us updated of the 747s. I'm not going to be able to make it until the second 747 that you mentioned. I'll wrap up when the first of the two will have landed. The yellow and white one arriving from Miami. Not a cloud to see, just contrails and the sun. That's everything that you can see in the sky right now. Lovely day here still, albeit still a bit chilly. What is the METAR saying with respect to the temperature? Is it above 0 already? Let's see, it's coming in the ticker. Wind 21 knots. Just a slight breeze, and it's still -2. So it's -2 plus 20 plus knots of wind. Wow. There you go. The Qatar 777 is turning in as well. It's double triple time actually. First the Qatar Airways 777-300ER, and it will be followed by the KLM 777-200. Next up, BA flight 436 arriving from London Heathrow, 43 minutes underway. The airplane is a year old, first flight July 2024. So thus far the temperature over here has not been above 0. The wind speed has only increased. This morning we began with, I think it was 30 knots of wind. Aditya, Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Good to see you again. And And I am afraid that I will not be around to see your family land, Thea. I am going to wrap up after the 747 that is arriving in 10-15 minutes or so from now. Arriving from Miami until it has landed. After that I am going to go home again to warm up a little. 3 airplanes visible. Here in the foreground we have KLM flight 1818 and the 2 triples. The one in the middle that is now flying to the left and is now lowest. That's the KLM 777-200 arriving from Guayaquil. So that's a double triple shot with KLM flight 1818 here in the foreground. KLM flight 1818 arriving from Frankfurt. Embraer 175, 8 years old, 44 minutes flight time. That's where things get interesting. 44 minutes by airplane. And what is it? 4 hours or so by car from here? I think Frankfurt would be somewhere around the midpoint between Amsterdam and the beginning of Austria. Maybe a bit further past the middle already. Not sure. 2 triples and a 737 over there as number 3. Qatar Airways flight 273 arriving from Doha. That's a 777-300 The A7 Bax Bravo Alpha X-ray. 13-year-old airplane, first flight July 2012. 6 hours and 13 minutes on the way. And the airplane that you see behind it is of course KLM flight 755 arriving from Guayaquil in Ecuador. Listen to the difference. 777 freighters and 777-300s have a certain growl when they pass you by, and if you listen to the 777-200 behind this one, it'll sound different. Sort of howling that is very typical for 777-300s and 777 freighters. Nice comparison material coming right up next, a 777-200. It sounds different from 300s and from freighters. Another 3 airplane glide slope shot. Airplane number 2 in the middle is KLM flight 1354 arriving from Prague. That's a Boeing 737-800. And the Transavia A321neo is flying behind it, arriving from RBA or Rabat, which is in Morocco in the north of Africa. I can see that the Atlas 747-8 is approaching the coastline. Still several minutes out. That will be the last airplane for today. Hey! For the first time, I'm actually being visited by Russell here in the field of grass. I'm also hearing a helicopter. Is it flying in the vicinity of the sun? Hard for me to see. I can hear it. I am able to hear it. gentle. Now I can see the helicopter that I was hearing already. Please, helicopter, seemingly returning to base. Can my camera find the focus? Let me go back to manual focus. The focus. Oh yeah, the focus is set to infinity already. Gear has extended. It's definitely going to land on Schiphol Oost, returning to base. Converging arrivals are also beginning again. The first airplane to 36 right has been established on the glide slope now. KLM flight 1294. In the summer, I am getting warnings on my phone for overheating, and now I am getting the third warning that charging is being delayed because of low temperature. That's okay, my phone is still fully charged, so no problem with that. Martin, thank you for your kind words. Martin says, thank you boys for everything you do. I hope you know how much we all appreciate the work you do to bring us this wonderful channel. Well, thank you so much for your kind words, Martin. I'm glad to hear you are appreciating what I'm doing. I'm doing the best I can. I hope it is something that you guys are all enjoying. Pretty soon we are going to see the last airplane of the day. It's a 747-8 arriving from Miami, Florida, third queen of the show. I am desperately trying to find it. I think I found it. I think this might be it, or no, I think that's the airplane behind the 747 already. So then where's the 747? Ah, there it is. There it is. Transavia A321neo arriving from Rabat, passing by just now. You'll have heard that on the microphone just now. This will be our last airplane, Atlas Air, arriving from Miami, Florida. 8 hours and 32 minutes underway. The gear is still in. Probably see it deploying the gear pretty soon. And we can then also see the difference between a 747 and an A380 when they do deploy the gear. It's happening right now, and you can see the main gear. All four main gears come out more or less simultaneously. They lock out at different times, but they start extending simultaneously, and that's different with the A380. There first the outer main gear deploys, then the inner main gear comes out. And that's the 787-10 from KLM behind it, turning in. KLM flight 622 arriving from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey TPV, also back. Merry Christmas, mate. Welcome back. Last airplane of the day, the 747, third 747 of the show. Young one. Merry Christmas to you and yours as well. Welcome back. The 747, now number one to land, is 13 years old. First flight was in November 2012. The November 853 Gin Tonic. That's the registration. Now fear not, tomorrow the weather should be almost identical to today. So I will be out again with another stream tomorrow. And on Saturday and Sunday too, weather permitting. We should have dry weather in the upcoming weekend. The wind should slow down gradually each day. Although after tomorrow it is expected to get a bit more cloudy. But the way things are currently looking, I should be able to do 4 consecutive days of streaming this Christmas weekend, so to speak. Right, the two 747s preceding this one and the A380 all did not deploy their reversers. Well, they did reverse, but no, wait, the A380 did use its reversers. I spoke too soon. The 747s all landed with idle reverse landings. How will this one fare? We'll find out. Nice rudder use and a wheelie as well. Yes, we have our answer, another idle reverse landing. Is there another airplane being pushed back? I thought I saw something, but no. When you look at it with the camera, it doesn't seem to be the case. Cream and custard livery. Now you're making me hungry, Paul. Well, Jörg, thank you so much. I will tell Lisa hi. Absolutely. Lisa is now in Belgium celebrating Christmas with her relatives. And if it hadn't been for the cat, I would probably have joined her. But for now, I am back at home. When she is in the air again, I'll say hi from you, Jörg. And undoubtedly, she will ask me to say hi to you in return. This was it for me for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for joining me here today. I had a wonderful time. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. If you did like what you saw, don't forget to leave a like. If you haven't already, subscribe if you want to support the channel in another way, free to do so. For now, I'm going to say thank you all for joining. Merry Christmas. Enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully, we'll see you again tomorrow. I will be out again with another stream tomorrow. Don't know yet where I'll be going to, but I'll be back. A massive, massive, massive big thank you for all the support, for all the likes, and for the many, many, many donations, the gifted memberships, the super chats, the super stickers. For those who bought something from the merch store, thank you so much. And of course, there are also people who donate through PayPal. Thank you all so much. You guys are what makes this channel so great. You and the mods. I would be nothing without you guys, mods. Thank you, moderators, for once again keeping the chat friendly and accessible. Hopefully, I'll see you all in good health tomorrow. Stay warm, stay healthy, enjoy Christmas, and I will see you soon. Bye for now, guys. Take care.